good. But if you remember that blonde-head, pointy-haired motherfucker, that yelled at you and
with three popped collars,
right, and had a temper tantrum in the ring, you're gonna remember that over a cool move that I did, because the next match is gonna do another cool move that may have been outshined by mine or not. So it's an imagery thing too,
and there's subtlety to y'all stuff. Like a lot of people don't catch the small details you put in. Like there was a Veterans Day show where all y'all gave me a box of crayons. Thanks for that.
They didn't give you the coloring book with it?
For food?
He can't read.
Yeah. They screwed that one up.
But Bryce had on 3 popped collars because, super cool, but it was red, white, and blue. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people didn't catch that, but the small things.
Right, and that's what I like, is the small details and things. Because, it goes over some people's head, but all it takes is that one person to catch it, and they're like, holy crap, I'm intrigued. What are they going to do? What small detail are they going to do next type deal? I mean, there's stuff so small, like, I'll take my collars off on the side during a tag match, bring the ref over, and I'll just throw it, and Zach will just catch it without even looking at it. We got video of Zach just, like, not even meaning to, but just catching it and then going into it. It's just the chemistry that Exotic Youth has is unmatched, and the story of us meeting is even wilder because we hated each other before we met it. So I don't know where the chemistry comes from, but we've got it, and it's worked out for us.
It has. Y'all are one of the hottest tag teams in probably the Southeast. I know you've gone on and done bigger things. You've been on AEW, every acronym, promotion in at least Georgia.
Oh, yeah, and it's busy. Like last night, we were in Savannah. Luckily, I was off today, but hey, got another booking here.
Appreciate it.
Hey, full weekend for me, I'll take it. Next weekend's Canton, and let's see. Let's see what next weekend is, because I live on a weekend basis. So it's Canton on Friday. Let's see, Thomasville on Saturday, and then we got Austell on Sunday. So up down for me. All in the time of me moving too. So
that's always extra fun. So how would you say you came up with this character, or how does the character differ from you as a person, or does it?
No, it completely does. My character in the ring versus me outside of the ring is a complete 180. My character in the ring is always so high-strung, energetic, in your face. Me outside of the ring, don't like, confrontation. My fiance talks about it all the time. Like, you just hate arguments and stuff like that. Like, I'll avoid an argument wherever I can. I'm just one of those people, like, okay, whatever. But the character really came back when I was training. So I've always been, quote-unquote, the frat boy, frat daddy. And, when I was training with Michael Stevens, I'm not sure, Marv? Marvelous Michael Stevens, bald head.
I've heard of them. I'm just a real big mark who has sound equipment, so I was around, but I avoided backstage. There was a lot of drama there. I wasn't about it.
You gotta love the drama backstage. I avoid it.
Good call. Don't date it.
But so during training, he told me, he goes like, so what's your character? And this was like 2 weeks into training. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm just learning how to take a back bump, pal. Like, what do you mean, what's my character? And he goes, well, you need to go ahead and get a character. That way you have a mindset of how you're going to move in the ring, how your mannerisms are going to be in the ring. So I was like, okay, went home and thought about it, and then came back to the next training session. So he goes, what's your character? Still didn't really have an answer. He goes, well, you got a punchable face. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay, thanks, I guess. Like, and he goes, who do you know, like, that has a punchable face? Like, what kind of, genre of people, I guess you could say. And I was like, I mean, frat guys. I mean, he goes, good, you look like one. You look like a douche. I was like, God, dude, like, ease up, So I ran with it, and at the time, Kyle Croft was doing this similar gimmick.
Before the pirate.
Right. And so I feel bad about it, but I never really asked for his permission to do it. I just kind of did it. And then we ended up being tag partners at GIPW, and then he kind of got out of the business, but he was like, yeah, you kind of ran with this character and done way better with it than I could. But it was then that I was like, okay, I've got this gimmick down. The first time I went out, I had some cheap eLucha tights, which if you're wanting to be a wrestler for Halloween, just go to eLucha. The tights are literally $70. And you can buy the boots on Amazon. And that's what I did. I was playing wrestler at the time. I had one of my granddad's sweater vest, and I did a backwards hat. I thought, oh, this looks fratty. Did not work out. It was a complete bust. So, went to the drawing board. Okay. Come back to the next AWN show, which was in Fort Valley. And Matt Hankins, Brian Blaze, and Shane Marks, Undeniable, were kind of running the show there. And they kind of said, all right, kid, nobody knew me in the business, by the way, at this point. So they're like, what's your character? What do you do? Told them. And Brian goes, man, you need 2 pop collars. I was like, okay, we're on to something. So I just showed up at the next show, which was 2 weeks away. That whole 2 weeks, I just brainstormed. Okay, he told me I could do 2 pop collars. What else can I add to this to make it just even that more over the top? So I came back the next show, 2 pop collars, the chubby shorts, and I had Sperry's. And they go, oh my God, this is it. And that's what I wrestled in until I went from Sperry's to loafers. So it just kind of evolved. And then they were like, you need something else. I was like, okay, what about a fraternity paddle? They said, yes. Found one on Amazon. Purchased it. Boom. Started putting stickers on it like a damn Yeti cooler. Boom. There's a first paddle right there. First person to take it was TNA legend Iceberg.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the first person to ever take the paddle, and he bumped off of it. Like this 300-pound man.
And bumping, just for everybody, is not that thing they do in the back before shows. Bumping is falling down on purpose.
Right, landing safely on the mat without getting hurt. I forgot this isn't a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm over here just talking wrestling, not even thinking.
If you have any questions, please send them to comedymannerspod@gmail.com.
There you go. Not at real Bryce Cannon, because I will not answer your DMs. But Iceberg was the first person to take the paddle, and that meant a lot to me because that made that paddle. As stupid as it sounds, that one guy taking it made the whole situation to where 4.5 years later, I'm still using the paddle.
And how many have you gone through at this point?
They're double digits right now.
Jeez.
Probably 20s right now. Most of them, I would say half, have been over Zach's head. People just move. I don't understand it. People just move. And Zach's there. Sorry, Zach.
You've knocked the mullet off of him, literally.
Okay. That was the poison shampoo. But yeah, no. And so then I meet Zach and Peps. And they've got like the 80s, 90s look going, blonde hair, bleached, to the nines. And I've got brown hair at the time. And they're begging me, dude, bleach your hair. And I'm like, hell no. I'll never do that. Thanksgiving. I forgot what year it was. Probably 2020. Maybe. I don't know.
And I think it was before...
Was it before
COVID? I think it was before COVID, because it was still at the Thirsty Turtle.
Maybe. I just remember saying, screw it. I'm going to do it.
That's the spirit.
Right. And it was just a random one. It was kind of like when I got a tattoo. I pinched myself in the shower and said, all right, I'm going to do it. And then that was me getting my first tattoo. But it was just like a screw it moment. So went to like Kroger or something, bought like blonde hair dye, and had a friend do it for me, and showed up, and people were like, oh, dude, you look real cool with that type deal. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nobody said that. Zach
and Peps did, so fuck off. But so I started wrestling with it, and then I was like, okay, what's next? Like, how do I advance this now? And so I just went to the barber shop and I asked him, I was like, what's like a douchey haircut, you know? He said, well, you could do the pompadour. I was like, that's like more like a Wall Street douchebag. And he goes, I mean, like the faux hawk, it was kind of douchey. And I was like, let's do it. So then I like had to wait. I usually get my hair cut every 2 weeks. And so like I'm very like ADD on my hair. And so I think I missed like a month of getting my hair cut for some reason. And my hair had just grown out. And so I was still like trying to spike it or whatever. And somebody had said, man, you look like you got like a rhino horn on your head. And I said, holy shit, that's it. So I just kept getting like the back cut, but leaving the front.
So you have a reverse mullet?
Right. Right. Business in the back, party in the front, you know? And so that's when, you know, the whole tip thing came. And then now Don't Touch the Tip is over. I mean, I've made probably well over $2,000 on merch just in Don't Touch the Tip merchandise. And
yeah, and we'll definitely have another episode on merchandise because I don't know how it is for wrestling, but you don't make your money from the venue.
Hell
you
no.
make your money selling t-shirts.
Right. Yeah, and that's like a guy named Rob Killjoy. He's the best to be around when merch is hot. Because if he loses that night, he'll literally yell while the people are leaving, hey, I lost tonight, I don't get paid, I need gas money to get home. And people will just come over there like sympathy, like, oh my God, let me get a shirt. That man will take $500 home easily. Just like, hey, I lost tonight, I need money to get home, I need a bus ticket.
Well, yeah, or like the Ugly Ducklings. That man quacked for 2 hours straight.
That's him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Rob Killjoy, yeah. He
Okay,
sells like duck whistles and stuff at his table for the kids. And he has like hundreds of shirt designs. Like, it is the wildest thing.
And he brings like VHS tapes of duck-related things, like DuckTales, the Mighty Ducks. Yeah. Like, it. You may not buy things at the merch table, but you got to go appreciate that kind of like.
It's like an antique mall sometimes. You know, you kind of just go, I don't really like that. Oh, this guy's got. Dang, I've been looking for this. Here, how much? Sometimes they'll mark the price down for you, you know. But yeah, merchandise is a whole different nightmare.
Yeah, that's gonna be a whole different episode.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, but merchandise honestly goes into the character aspect because it's like, okay, now I've invested all of this money in my character. Now how do I make that money back? And I know it's not going to be from getting paid to wrestle type deal. So I sell Frat paddles, little ones, at my table. My father-in-law, he makes little keychain paddles for me. I've got the hats, shirts, 8x10s. God, there's too much.
Y'all have
trading cards, stickers.
I really like the shirt that you got on now, the pumpkin spice Bryce.
It's fall, you know. And so this came out of a joke. So me and Zach were drunk one night. Oh God! We were partaking in the sinner's juice. And so,
White Claw?
No, actually.
His first gimmick was just White Claw.
Yeah, I still drink them. I've slowly moved into Trulies. It hurts, but
there's a little more flavor there.
Right, it does. It's less staticky.
Well, White Claw is just TV static and disappointment. Like, that's all.
There's no disappointment in that.
It's Claw's the law, dude.
Right, exactly. Piss off. No, yeah, but the White Claw, that was just another thing because they were super popular at the time. So I was like, I like these things, so I'm gonna just take a case and beat people over the head with it.
Nice.
So I would do that, but yeah, so Zach and I, we were drunk one night and we started talking about Starbucks or something, and he goes, "Oh my God, you could be Pumpkin Spice Bryce," and I was like, "Dude, you could be White Mocha Mosley." And then we're like, "What about Peppermint Pepper Bottom?" It was just so stupid. And I was like, you know what? That was like a year and a half ago. So this year I was like, I think I'm gonna make some Pumpkin Spice Bryce merch and see how it does.
Y'all should do it as a 3-pack.
Right. I think next fall it's happening.
Tell me, do you got a Bryce Age t-shirt?
I don't.
That'd be good for winter. For winter's coming. The Bryce